So I'm one of those super annoying people who really loves their job and can't stop talking about why. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about why. So I'm a legislative lawyer. I work for a non-profit legal law firm called the Institute for Justice. We mostly do litigation, so suing to vindicate people's constitutional rights when they're violated by the government. But we also have a small legislative team that seeks to enact positive pro-liberty legislation, both at the federal level in Washington, D.C. and also in the different states. I'm not originally from America. I'm from Britain originally, but I moved here back in 2019. I went to law school, so this is my second career. And working in legislative law, it's kind of a niche area. Most people, when they think of law, they think either of arguing in court, doing litigation, or they think about doing transactional work, maybe mergers and acquisitions, bankruptcy, family law, that kind of thing. Legislative law, though, is kind of very foundational. Writing the laws that go on the statute books that govern people's lives is the very essence of what it is to be a lawyer. So although there aren't many legislative lawyers compared to other areas, it's a very important niche within law. And it's really great, particularly working at the state level, because I don't think it's controversial to say that, the state of politics in not just in America but in a lot of the Western world is quite depressing at the moment. There's a lot of gridlock. This isn't a liberal or a conservative critique, it's just the fact that it seems like stuff isn't getting done at the national level a lot of the time, and it can be very frustrating, and arguments tend to devolve into arguments about personalities and just other distractions. But under America's federalist system with 50 different states, you actually have the option to still accomplish a lot of good for people and really enact positive policy that affects people. So even though there's gridlock going on in Washington, D.C., where I am right now, in the different states, there's a lot of opportunities to still do good for people. And I have the immense privilege of advocating for the Institute for Justice's policies, whether that's around property rights, economic liberty, education choice, school choice, other issues like that in the different states. And we have our model legislation. I get to both develop model legislation, then go lobby for different states to adopt that legislation, which is really exciting. So I get to travel around the country, my new adopted home in America, which is great. I'm based in Texas, but I get to travel all around. And it's great. So just when things at the national level are really gridlocked, there's still a lot of opportunities to do good in the state. So if you're maybe feeling depressed about the state of the country, whether you were happy with the election result or not, that's not the be all and end all. There's a lot of work to be done in the states. A lot of the governing that actually matters, that affects people's lives, either happens at the local level, the kind of city or municipal level, or it happens at the state level. And there's opportunities everywhere, no matter what side of the spectrum you might fall on, to try and influence that. So I've really found my happy niche. I really love what I do, getting to work on this. And I get to both write model legislation that can be an example for different states, and I get to translate that into actual bills that will then get debated and voted on in the different state legislatures and maybe become law. And that's really great. I get to play a small part in hopefully enacting positive pro-liberty change in my new adopted home in America. And that's just an immense privilege, and it makes me really happy, and that's why I'm one of those really annoying people who can't stop talking about how much I love my job.